What's up, everybody? This is Drag the Lake. I'm Andy. This is Pat. Pat, how are you?
I'm doing well, Andrew. Thank you so much for asking.
Well, that's fucking awesome. Let's hop into this. I want to talk to you about what the fuck is going on with Gavin Dance. It's not good, dude. It's not fucking good.
Yeah, what's happening? There seems to be crisis happening with this band, and they're maybe cursed.
Like literally, I don't believe in curses per se. Although you know, I'm a pretty non-religious person, but like I will completely expunge any idea of coincidences in my life and dissect the symbolism of things happening around me. You know what I mean?
You say you're not a religious guy, but you're throwing around religious terms like expunge. Come on, quit showing off.
Well, I'm basically just like a dumb hot chick who fucking loves crystals and is like, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual.
Right.
Like I'm that shit. But no, like legit, this band is fucking cursed. They can't go, like, they've only gone in recent memory or in recent history of the band, they've only gone like 2 or 3 albums in like a recent chunk without having some like catastrophic thing happen or having like a huge, you know, there's all this different history where they're like changing lead singers. Johnny Craig is fucking scamming kids with MacBooks, like, you know, fucking doing all this crazy shit. So like you said you were I forget, do you listen to Dance Gavin Dance?
It's funny because I listened to them really, really early on when I was really young, and I just, for no reason whatsoever, just stopped listening to them. So like when you brought them up, I was like, who? And then I learned, like, when you just used the DGD, and I legitimately thought it said DND, and I was like, what? They kicked D&D off there? Who's that? And then
how does Coheed kick out D&D?
The whole game?
They're not even. First off, Coheed was touring with the game.
That's like half their audience.
Yeah, for real.
What the fuck, dude?
Bro, if fucking whatever his high voice name is came out and was just like, I hate D&D, like they would just D&D is stupid. Like they would just lose most of their audience.
All that guy is a Stranger Things version of Tom Morello.
Yo, dude. Holy shit, that's fucking great.
But Dance Gavin Dance, to update, I was like, holy shit. So I'm actually kind of excited. I gotta say,
you came back on a crazy week, buddy.
I'm gonna catch up on some good tunes though, apparently. So, but catch me up on what is some of the drama that's been.
You're not gonna hear the guy who wrote the lyrics sing them though live. You're not gonna hear that.
oh yes. So I did. So that's a little news story about that.
So that's what happened. It's been an interesting thing. So basically, for lack of a better term, Tilian from Dance Gavin Dance got. But this was a good gotting. Sometimes the guys get got. You read the article and you're like,
oh, oops.
All right. That wasn't. Well, no, I'm trying to say, like, sometimes you read the testimony, the article or whatever, and you're just like, oh, you guys are put like in the headlines. There's way more stank on it in the headlines. And that's how I went into this one, being like, all right, what the and then you read it and you're like, well, gosh, that's a convincing story about that thing. It seems like he definitely did.
Yeah, that seems legitimate from all of those truths shared. So,
but no, all jokes aside, if you go on Reddit, the Reddit, I'll try to remember to put a link down below. But if I forget, it's called My Tilian Story with pictures. It's on the Dance Gavin Dance subreddit. This girl, basically, the short version of it, this girl was on Tinder or Bumble or Hinge, one of those apps, starts messaging back and forth, matches with Tilian, gets hyped because she's a Dance Gavin Dance fan. They start talking for a little bit. They go on some dates. Then they go on another date and drinking, go back to his place. She's basically like, nah, dude. and he was like,
yeah, dude.
I'm a hot lead singer of a band, and I've been drinking a lot tonight. I don't know. So you can read the whole thing for yourself. I'm also not trying to make light of a.
You just don't want to give any spoilers. Read the story. Find out what happens.
Hey, thanks for saying that. Thanks for saying that, because I pussed out and I got serious like a fucking bitch.
Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning.
But for real, all jokes aside, you read through and like, dude, it was hard because if you've seen pictures of Tilian, right?
I don't think so.
I'll give you the short version. Ha cha cha. He's a sight for sore eyes. God damn it.
Oh wow, really?
He's a fucking hunk, and he's got. Honestly, in my opinion, this might be controversial for Gavin Dance fans. I like his voice the best. I know everyone tries to, and Kurt Travis, fucking like Heavy Hearts or whatever the fuck, Uneasy Hearts, yada yada yada. That shit wouldn't be the same without him. Johnny Craig, I know everyone likes to he might be a piece of shit, but everyone likes to hold him up. But honestly, the Tilian era of Gavin Dance, vocal wise, not extracurricular, but vocal wise, my favorite part. And so it was pretty rough having to hear this, if I'm being perfectly honest.
As a fan, or like just because is it like a situation where you're thinking like because it's undeniable, or just the fact that it's even like it's just happening in the first place? Like, because is this the first time that this has happened? I'm not saying that makes it better. Is this the first time that he's had an accusation, or is this like a thing where like there's like songs about it and like, now in hindsight there's a ton of signs or something like that?
I don't know about all that. He may have had because the girl said my Tilian story, and that made me feel, and if you look on Reddit, it says wait, it said something that made it feels like there was another one or two accusations, but like, they didn't get legs. Maybe the story wasn't credible. I don't know. Yeah. But like
it's like a Cosby thing where like people started stringing, like, you're like, oh shit, you had a thing too? Like, yeah, I did too. I didn't think anybody else did. Blah blah blah. Like,
yeah, no, it's like what I was saying before. It's just like sometimes, like, and I know a lot of people like to fucking act like this isn't a reality, but sometimes you get stories like this, and then you read through them, and you're just like, that ain't the fucking 10 you were saying it was, or also like this doesn't hold up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But basically, like when you read through this one, you read through it, and you're just like. It just based off like reading through it, you're like, it feels like it holds up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when did that come out?
9 days ago it was posted on Reddit. Oh, and I should say for the sake of fairness, because this is another thing I always like to point out with these things. This is a big he said, she said, because there was and I know, I'm the first one to shit on the fucking cops, and I know they don't fucking handle this shit well anyway. Fucking my wife's shown me enough ID things and documentaries and shit. I know the cops don't handle this shit, but there's no court records or anything, like no one filed with the police. So it's the reality of the situation is basically he said, she said at this point. So she was like, he did all this awful stuff. He was like, no, yes, we were drinking, but it was all consensual, but I'd
say if somebody was penetrated that says that they didn't want to be penetrated, I'm going to just take their advice and just be like, you know what? I'm going to believe you until further notice, just in case, because it's like one of those things of like, I don't know exactly like what's the benefit of bringing Gavin Dance down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, really, like you're a fan of theirs.
Well, and here's the other thing.
You being a fan of theirs, like
here's the other thing. Like I'll put it this way too. What really makes me, first off, like I said, just reading through the story, it just comes off very believable. And then also the like time frame of everything, because there's been times where you'll have people who will have these stories, and then like I've seen one. What the fuck was it? Do you remember Velveteen Dream? He's like a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Now he was a guy who did some bad shit, but if you if you saw the dude who was coming at Velveteen Dream, he waited till later till he got I forget specifically what happened, but he waited till later till he got what the fuck am I trying to say?
A better position in the company or something.
He basically, god damn it, I'm stumbling on my words right now.
I know
he basically he got wronged in some other shit, so now he's out to get revenge on the dude.
Oh yeah.
Now eventually when the info comes out, you realize the dude did some bad shit. So
Andy, that's what's known as the but defense. It's anytime you get in trouble, you go, yeah, but he is actually doing something else that's much worse than what I'm doing. So why didn't you go yell at him and I'll just hang out here? And they go, okay.
Yeah, but this girl, it's like it happened.
Making a right, I guess.
It this girl was like, it happened. Hey, I can't, because she was probably like, I can't go to the cops, because there's not enough evidence or whatever. So I'm just gonna go fucking blast it online right now.
With as much detail as with it as fresh in my memory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I honestly, I feel like that's kind of at this point, just to say hey, this is my experience with this. At this, because again, like you said, there's no real, they're going to be well, you're hanging out with them. And it's you know what I mean? I'm just going to write down what I have here because I said, legitimately, I feel as it close to the trauma as possible or whatever experience, whatever, I don't know what I'm supposed to call it. I'm trying to be as nice as possible. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to call.
Don't worry, Pat. I've been talking like a dumb Italian doing these fucking hands. They won't even know.
She could be lying and shit, but I don't think she is. How I rate it, I don't think she's fucking lying though.
I read those fucking texts and then I imagined what she was wearing, and I think she's.
And I was like, whoa. Even still, I don't think she deserves it. Woke dice. I like it.
But either way, I guess
I honestly, I feel I think this is just a situation where this is probably the best for you're not wanting to you can't I'm not canceling, you know what I mean? But as far as if you want to get any kind of justice or have any kind of record, this is, I feel the better way to go.
It's the next best thing
than going to the cops. I think this is better than going to the cops, in my opinion. Because
there's a definite argument for that. Because like I said earlier, it's you can go to the cops, they'll be fucking slow about it and shit like that.
But really, honestly, it's one of those situations. I think really the best case scenario is just to call when it happens, go hey, this just happened.
Yeah.
And honestly, but I have never experienced that, so I can't say what it's like to feel that way. And disclaimer, trigger warning.
And also,
why are we talking about this, Andy? What does it mean?
Yeah, we're spending way more time on this chunk than I thought we would. But and also for the sake of fairness, because we technically don't know what happened. He threw out his side of the story. He said he didn't do it, but I'm just going off what I read, how I feel. But either way, so this happens. Gavin Dance, immediately throw it out there. They're like, yo, we got this dude out of the band. He's not in the band. Remember when he was in the band? He's not in the band. You know how he did the bad thing?
Yeah.
We're not going to flat out say that, but we're going to say he's leaving to go heal or some shit.
Yeah.
Just to make it super fucking clear, he's not in the band.
Ain't here no more.
Now, if we were on, say, a tour with some big high-pitch emo prog rock band, we followed all the rules. He's not in the band.
We cancel him. He's been canceled.
Got rid of him. Remember the part of the group that might rape?
Who are we even talking about?
Outskis.
Not on our itinerary, my friend. He's not on our checklist. No. Mm-mm.
And then high-pitched emo prog rock said, "Don't give a shit. You're off the tour."
Yeah.
And that is the main reason I wanted to talk about it, because
he said, bye, Gavin, bye.
No dancing, Gavin. No dancing.
No dancing
whatsoever. Maybe on your own time, but well, you'll have a lot of time because you'll have a month's less of pay.
Okay.
But no, that was the part. That was actually we did go into detail on the sad part. But to tell this story, you got to kind of like lay that foundation. But like this was the main reason I wanted to talk about this, because I saw that and I just was kind of like, dickhead move, Coheed. I'm gonna say it. Dickhead move. Yeah, they did because like they did everything right there. Because here's the thing. Their fucking bassist just died, which is super fucking sad.
Yeah.
And so they're already fucked up because of that. They had to find it. They have to like, they're fucked up emotionally. They have to find a new bassist. Their lead singer. It was probably hard as hell, but they did the fucking right thing, got him out of there. They're doing everything right. They have an album coming out in like a fucking month or two. It's gonna be weird.
They just want to, honestly, Andy, I really think they probably have probably not a huge break, but somewhat of a break right after that, or we're probably ramping up for a tour, because actually, isn't that what you do when you release an album? You tour after that.
Well, and also being on a fucking tour with Coheed would be dope for them, because like they're two of the top, like it's this genre I think is real called like prog emo or like prog punk, where it's like these bands that they kind of have like they're punk or emo bands, but they have a heavy like prog rock influence on their shit, but they still keep it kind of like you could probably call it prog core, but like something core is always cringy as hell to me.
7-minute emo songs.
Yes, with heavy wiggity wiggities.
Yeah. They have everything
basically. And so it would have been perfect for them to be on that fucking show. And I think my main point, and I'm really curious, I think you kind of responded, but I'm really curious for a more detailed response, is like my main point, Coheed kicking them off the tour, dickhead move.
I feel like, Andy, it's a dickhead move, but I think it's more in this particular scenario. This seems like a super safe move. This seems like one of those things where, like, even though there was action taken on one side, I feel like nowadays, I think the norm is like both sides taking action. You know what I mean? So they're like, okay, so our Arby's driver or our DoorDash delivery guy picked up the Arby's order and shouted a racist term and ate the guy's fries.
Pat, can I cut you off real quick?
What?
When's the last time you DoorDashed Arby's?
I'm just like, not recently, but
no,
like, not recently.
It feels recently.
Well, okay, so if I'm being honest, I'm actually reading an email. And I got compensated by both Arby's and DoorDash.
Wait,
what I'm saying? No, I'm just.
Someone from Arby's said racist things at you?
Yeah, no. It's a weird thing that like it's like.
Wait. I still need to cut you off. So say you're getting your Arby's. He's yelling racial slurs at you. Uh-huh. Some apply, some don't apply.
Yeah, he's white too, by the way.
Yeah, he's yelling racial slurs at you.
Yeah.
What, you're still like picking at curly fries, right?
Yeah, I'm checking my fries. Yeah, I'm like, they're still hot. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get them. The top ones aren't hot or anything like that. And also, I get a French dip. You see, Andy, from there, because I'm fancy, and that comes with au jus. And I like to make sure that the au jus has not dripped in the bag or is not making it wet.
I just know for a fact, if that were to happen to you, you have a full mouth of fries going, you can't say that.
Yeah. Hey, man. Just be going, hey, man.
Just a full mouth of fries. Like, that's really offensive.
But like, that's a situation where
you didn't bring me horsey sauce, you bigot.
Dude, if that was a case, that's when we riot. That's when he's wearing that fucking au jus sauce.
Be like, he says slur.
He says Jew.
Oh, Patrick George, everyone. Thank God he's alive. What was your point 9 minutes ago? I cut you off from.
I feel like there needs to be, even if you solve the problem with one action, both sides need to take an action. So like, I think Coheed, it was like, we're deeply saddened by the recent news surrounding the one of our supporting acts. This is a great way for us to save money on the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like Dance Gavin Dance solved the problem.
That's what I'm saying though, is even though that happened, they're like, this.
I get that that's the thing, but it's all Dance Gavin, like Coheed's putting it in motion, and Dance Gavin Dance is like, no, we solved it. You don't got to do anymore. We solved it.
This is the problem, Andy, is the fact that even if they're on the playlist while the crowd is like filing into the show, you know, sometimes they play music during that.
Yeah.
Even if Dance Gavin Dance is on the playlist ahead of time, there's people like this lady. I don't mean to demean. What was her name, or whoever the person who was accusing the singer of the assault? There's people like her that is like, I'm a huge Dance Gavin Dance fan, and if I hear these songs that he wrote, I know that he was singing this part. I know those are his words. Yeah, it's like everybody's gonna be fucking triggered, and everybody's gonna be fucking like, you know what I mean?
I will say to that. I will say to that.
Nip it in the bud and just say like, let's get fucking. Where's, you know. I don't even know. Follow Troy. That'd be awesome to see Follow Troy with Coheed and Cambria. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, I will say, I will say to that, if people getting mad, I have now. Granted, you know, Twitter and Reddit only gives you so much of a taste of like real life, but I was seeing people fairly like accepting of what happened, of like not the not the bad part, but the
they're like, what's the big deal?
No, not that.
Not okay.
Dance Gavin Dance fans, knock it off. No, they were like, I think the general consensus of like was like, yeah, this is what you had to do. Now, how are they gonna figure this out? Like, how are they gonna fix it? You know, and go on with these shows.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't see too many people being like, no, fuck this band. Honestly, you know what I did see a lot of? Not entirely. Not entirely, but there was a decent chunk of people. So you know who they replaced Dance Gavin Dance with? Alkaline Trio.
Really?
Yeah, which great band.
Yeah, but like that's not an even trade, right?
Here's the thing. It does, like, for the context of the show, but also at the same time, Coheed has to get a new band right away. These shows start in a month.
Yeah.
And they have to like, they were probably asking so many bands because this tour is like a month long, like mid-July to mid-August.
Yeah.
So they were probably like, can anyone help us out? We need a band for a month. Yeah. And because there were a lot of people. There was not all of them, not like half of the people were like, really?
This is my opinion. I don't know if maybe I'm off about this, but I feel like this is how you know Coheed's decision to take Dance Gavin Dance off the tour was not a financial one, because I feel like Alkaline Trio is going to cost them more. They're going to take a bigger cut, but they also might draw more people.
Maybe. Yeah. No,
because I kind of got a little excited. I don't know if I would just go see Coheed and Cambria by themselves, or even with Dance Gavin Dance, but Alkaline Trio, and also I'll stick around for them until they play Welcome Home, and then I'll head out. You know what I mean? Like,
I actually hate that song because my roommate in freshman year of college, who I was good friends with and ended up hating, would play that every fucking day. So I get triggered now when I hear Welcome Home by Coheed.
Well, then I think that's the song that we need to include in this. No, but also Coheed has a new album coming out as well, right?
Yeah.
So like, this is just shitty timing for both of them in this sense, because I'm sure they were probably excited to hang out with, because they both have, I think, like a lot of crossover.
Without a doubt.
I'm sure that Coheed and Alkaline Trio do have crossover, but it might be less.
A lot less. I think Coheed and Dance Gavin Dance build is like a very smart tour.
Yeah, that gets your pecker hard. I know that.
Honestly, I'm like, whatever. I don't listen to a lot of Coheed. I'm whatever on Coheed.
Sure.
But
right.
Really, I really don't listen to much Coheed, but yeah, I don't. Also, the last thing I'll say is because I saw a lot of people like everyone tries to be all fucking like catastrophic when any of this shit happens, and they like, is this the end of Dance Gavin Dance? And it's like, guys, first off, they have, like I've said, they've barely gone an album without having like a lineup change or something like weird or crazy happen. Yeah. And also, their bassist just died like a month or two ago, and they still played they're like, their bassist died. Then later that week, they do this big show every year called Swan Fest. It's like their guitarist started a record label because his name is something Swan. So he started Swan Records. They do Swan Fest. It's a big thing. It's a thing they can't not do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so like every time I die the season, or ETID the season or something like that.
Exactly. It's
like a financial thing. Like we have to kind of do this. It's
and it's also like their thing. You know what I mean? It's like they can't, because their fans, almost like Every Time I Die, their fans are a little more hardcore than like the average fan base.
Right.
And so it was a thing they couldn't cancel. They're literally doing shows like a week after their bassist dies. It's like getting rid of a singer. They've done it like 3 times already.
Yeah.
They can do it one more fucking time. I love this idea of like, now the accusations, they might put a little bit of a stank on the band, but I don't, honestly, long term, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think it's naive as hell to be like, this is the end of Dance Gavin Dance.
Especially if most, if not all of the members are kind of interchangeable. I don't see why these things, especially if they just said like, look, man, don't even wait for it. Don't wait for the infection to get to the elbow. Let's cut this fucking arm off. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I wouldn't say they're interchangeable per se.
No, you know what I mean. But I'm saying like that they've been through this before. This is just like kind of. But also, so was Every Time I Die. They kind of ran through drummers, bassists for a while there.
They did, right?
For like, especially the last couple albums, it felt like every time there was a new somebody. And so I'm sure that it's growth too. Like they're growing, and they have a lot of fucking releases, dude. There's a lot of shit that I have not listened to. And actually, I don't even see the fucking album that I think I had. So I don't even know if the album that I had is on Spotify right now.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm excited to learn more about the story. Also, I'm excited to see if they ever release the cause of death for said bass player, because it's weird. It's a little weird that you wouldn't say like what happened.
Oh, I think it's incredibly recent.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning of the year, right?
No.
Wasn't it?
No, dude, like a month ago.
But still, like a month ago, I'm pretty sure they probably know by now. Or
no, I'm saying I think they posted it.
I don't think so.
Oh. I don't know. I didn't look into it, to be honest.
See, and that's the thing, is because that, haven't they been through enough, right? Maybe it was murder.
I don't think it was murder.
Maybe there's an investigation going on. Allegedly, that's what happens, right? Isn't that what happens? Don't they do that? They don't release stuff if they're doing an investigation. Hey, who knows?
Well, they had a whole.
That's just
speculation.
You mean speculation?
All right, what are we doing? Anyway, that's what we had to say about that. I get that there's politicking, and I guess my final point on this is, my final point on this whole thing is, I understand there's politicking and whatnot, but I think after Dance Gavin Dance more or less did the right thing.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a dickhead move for Coheed to drop them off the tour.
Yeah. I think it's just so close to their album release too, that they were like, look, we can't even risk that. Like,
we don't even want a bit of stink on us.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Sorry, Gavin. Sorry.
Sorry, Gavin. Sorry. That's the best way to put it. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us. I've been Andy. He's been Pat. See you next time. Bye.